And here we are again, talking about life, the world, and we're dishing out some advice. Just kind of going through Reddit, seeing what people need help with. A lot of people within the Reddit forums completely suck at giving advice, which is why I'm here. Let's just get right into it. This first one, I read the title, so I'm already at least a little familiar with it. And the title is this. This girl in my class told everybody she was a lesbian, but she likes men also. And when I told her that's called being bisexual, everyone called me a homophobe. Am I missing something here? I feel like I don't even need to read the actual bulk of this because there's so much information already just in the title that you really don't need any details to fix this. The reality is, yes, there absolutely is something that you missed. What you missed is it was never your job to care. You wanted to correct her. Why? Why is that so important to you that you had to make sure she was right? That's really all there is to it. In the future, don't make the same mistake. Don't offer up advice when it is not asked for. Which is funny because, you know what? No, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing actually is asked for because you guys are posting on the forums. Ooh. This one might be a tough one. I'm not going to shy away from this challenge. The title, and based on the title, I'm going to have to completely take this at face value. I don't know how real it is. So the title, Laying the Groundwork for Escape from an Abusive Relationship. Please help. They go on to say, I'm going to keep this vague because I do not know whether my abuser is in the sub. I can absolutely provide more info through PM or answer any questions in the comments as long as they will not expose too much personal information. Okay. I just wanted to click back and see if this is one where they magically received advice. It is not one of that such. I'm a younger person, over 18, living with and relying on a very abusive person. Now, it may not be too hard to escape. The problem is that I have a child. I have no job, no car, no money. None of my family can take me in. That's tough. The biggest issue is that this person will not let me get a job. And since I have no car, I cannot get myself to a job. And even if I did, I was never taught how to drive. And I cannot be sure this person would be willing to watch my child purely out of spite. So I have no way to save up money. Driving is pretty easy. You point the car. One control makes it go, the other control makes it stop. I understand it's more complicated than that, but driving really isn't that hard. And I don't know exactly how old you are. You only say that you're over 18, so we know that in the United States you're considered a legal adult. I don't know if this means you're 19, 20, 21. Um, I'm hoping that you put in exactly what kind of abuse you are receiving, because so far it seems like you're just saying words. You're just saying words, and nobody can really help you just purely based on words. Let's see. So what I really need is someone to help me formulate a plan, a financial goal, everything I need in order to escape. I'd like to get as far away from this person as possible as well. And I'm willing to live in a shelter for a while I get on my feet in this new place. Edit. I do not have service at the moment and cannot make any phone calls, unfortunately. Edit number 2. I want to thank everybody who's reached out to me and those who continue to reach out. I may not be able to respond to everybody, but know that I see you and I absolutely appreciate your support. This is actually going to be, I would say that I'm not willing to give out advice on this just because, quite frankly, you did such a poor job explaining anything. You didn't explain any kind of abuse that's happening. You said he doesn't let you get a job. What does that even mean? You don't have family, you don't have friends. The reality is that if you have any family, you need to talk to them, you need to contact them, you need to get in touch with them, because they will, if they are truly your family, they will understand the situation and they will take you in. Now, there are some legal things that you need to think about, like you can't just take your child away from him, being the biological father. Especially if your family lives in a different state. The reality is you're gonna have to contact them. Eventually, you're gonna have to get a divorce. I'm assuming you're married. Did you say that you're married? No, you never said you're married. So congratulations, that makes it a little bit easier. You say you don't have family, but honestly, that's going to be your best bet. Also, once you have proceeded forward with whatever plan, you need to get into some therapy. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you will eventually get back together with this person. Now, maybe it's not technically the same person, but here, it's the same person. And you're going to go through the exact same thing over and over, because life is a cycle. And cycles repeat themselves. Do not have any more kids. Do not bring any more children into this world where it is a possibility that this kind of relationship between you and their father will exist. What you truly need is therapy. You need to better understand yourself before you can begin to pretend to understand any other person. That one was kind of rough. I feel like my advice wasn't picture perfect on that, but the reality is that it's hard to give advice when there's so few details being offered out. And you think that he's like subscribed to that forum and he's gonna see what kind of control is going on here. Do you really believe that? Maybe it's true, maybe I'm judging, but hey. This one looks like a goodie. Caught father cheating again. Want to ensure mother is taken care of. My father has always been a good provider. Awesome. Awesome dad. He works hard in critical roles. Yes. However, he has maintained an unnecessarily rude temperament at home. Damn it. Especially towards my mother. I wonder what that's about. He's clearly taken on the patriarchal role. He provides for his family. And you're saying he has an unnecessarily rude temperament. I wonder what that's about. What happened in his past that he's taken on this role and he resents something somewhere in his life, something that he's become, something about your mom, something. What is that? Your father needs therapy. A simple question will get a snappy response. Upon hearing him on the phone to his workers, calmly and politely diffusing situations or cleaning up concerns, my mother was upset, confronting him about why he is short and rude to her, yet calm and reasonable with strangers. He understood and said he would try to make things better. My father is smart, wise with words, and very manipulative. Yeah, I could see that. So he's kind of got like a double life thing going on. Double life, he's got his work life and he's got his home life. They are completely separate from one another. He is person A at work and person B at home. And he's got this double life going on. Again, what is that about? Why do we sometimes feel the need? Why do we split our personalities in such a way? Maybe that's not the best way to kind of pose that question. I know personally I do have my own personal work life, and I have my home life, and they're very separate. In fact, there's two different cities. My work life stays in that city, and my home life is here. I'm not a mean asshole, though. Continuing on. Years ago, my father came clean after being caught to going behind my mother's back to get adult massages, as well as taking coworkers out to dinner, even buying her gifts. So, I don't really know to what extent somebody can come clean after they've been caught, but I understand what you're saying. I understand the way that you're wording it. He said nothing progressed beyond that. However, I never believed him. And in my opinion, it was simply damage control on his part. Yeah, I could see that. I think that's more than likely, 95 to 99% a fair, accurate assessment of the way your father played it off. That time absolutely broke my mother's heart. However, they stayed together. They worked through the moment, having two sons still living at home and maintaining their relationship. So, I'm going to say something that you're going to hate. I actually like that they did that. Depending on the ages of the two sons, I actually think that it's very important that if in a marriage, one spouse cheats on the other one, it's important for them to try to maintain a strong family unit until the children are at least old enough to fully understand what's going on. And the reality is that fully understanding what's going on, it's really not something that can truly be achieved in the youth until about age 18, when they're a legal adult and they're trying to figure out things on their own. I do like that your parents tried doing that. I'm assuming that it didn't go very well, based on the title. Whoa. Whoa. The very next line. It is now almost a decade after that. So we're talking about 2012, 2013 that all of that stuff happened. How old are the sons now? They're adults now. Well, yeah, now I think your parents should get divorced, because if the sons are 18, there's kind of no reason to keep the family unit together. The sons are already moving out. It's now almost a decade after that. I was home the other day using my father's printer, as mine was not working. Upon opening up Gmail and attempting to log into my own account, I noticed there was another account as well, under a pseudonym. He had forgotten to sign off, remove the account from the list after his last use. And that's such an easy thing for people to forget to do. You just never think about it. I'm actually surprised that he had that Gmail logged into on the computer, though. I would think that that'd be something specifically reserved for his phone, which would likely be on his person at all time. I clicked in, and my stomach sank as there was an active chat in the Google Hangout with a female. The chat was extensive and went back a while, reading messages about him missing stroking her hair and updating her with information on his life as recent as last month. I felt ill. He is cheating again. My mother is such a kind, genuine, and beautiful soul who is being used. So, Okay, there's not a whole lot left. I'm gonna power through the rest of it because there's so many things that I want to say, and there's so many things that I want to ask and address. You know, um, and I don't think any of what I want to ask is gonna be addressed in these last two little snippets, but we'll see. The poster goes on to say, my mother does not work. She retired a few years ago from her job as a chef due to osteoporosis in her spine. She relies solely on the income he provides. They say he earns well. The house they live in is not fully paid off yet, but a significant amount is, and it's 100% coming from him. Okay, so he's the breadwinner. We get it. Chefs don't get paid a lot, by the way. Like, at all. Unless you're like at the very, very top end, top tier chef. And like, you're so up there that you can have your own line of knives and cooking pans and whatnot. I post this as I am simply scared and clueless of the aftermath and what would happen to my mother. I love her so much, and I know that it will be such a weight lifted for her without him around, having to walk on eggshells. Yet I have no idea of the process of how/if she will be taken care of. I have not acted upon anything yet. Thanks for reading. So once again, I'm going to say something that would make the poster hate me. You haven't acted upon this yet. I suggest you continue not acting upon this. This is not your relationship to fix, and the fact that you think that you are the savior of your mother, it only shows how big your own ego is. Now, if you had to, what I would suggest is you talk to your mom. Don't say, hey mom, you know dad is cheating on you. Just talk to her. Get to know more about her. Get to know more about her life, what's going on. And what I'm about to say is like a really far stretch. It's possible that she knows. It's possible that she's allowing it. You don't know the facts. Talk to your mom. Do not act upon this. At least not yet. You don't need to be the savior of your mom. She's not asking you for help. Do not act upon this. Not yet. Oh, here's a post from somebody who's probably like 13. My mom's friend broke my VR headset and I don't know what to do now. So I recently bought a VR headset. I've showed quite a few family members what my VR was like, and everyone was mind blown and really immersed. Everyone was mind blown. Give me a break. Except Emma. She wasn't convinced at all. And to her, it didn't feel real. I bet it didn't feel real at all. I bet it felt almost like it was virtual or something. Anyway, the game I show you, or the game I show people, is a game where you get in an elevator, it takes you really high up, and you have to walk a plank. She did it without hesitation, unlike other people. A lot of it's just a mind thing. Wow. VR is so amazing. You get in an elevator, you take the elevator up, and then you walk on a plank. You're really high up. Yeah, nice. No, but you do you. Then, her husband put on the headset, and he was really scared to walk the plank. He eventually did, and Emma was laughing at him for being so scared. Honestly, that's the best part about VR, is making fun of other people. It's not doing the thing, it's making fun of people who are doing it. You can step off the plank in the game, and then you will fall as you would in real life. So Emma pushed him pretty hard. Instead of taking a step forward, her husband dive-bombed into the table, breaking the headset. She apologized, and after I told her it was broke, she offered to get me a new one, but my mom told me I had to contact Oculus, the people who make the headsets. Why do you have to contact them? Why? So, I did, but not before I informed myself online on what to tell Oculus, because there was obviously fall damage. Oh, the next line is so great. So I ended up emailing them and telling them exactly what happened, and they won't replace it. Yeah, go figure. What do? You go behind your mom's back and you get that friend to pay for it. It's not really the best thing to ask advice on. Like, really? There's so many other things in life that are so much more important than a VR headset that you probably spent what, $400, $500, $600 on. I get it, it's your money, you can do with it whatever you want, but there are other things in life that are so much more important. I understand, feeling like you got that kind of a loss is a terrible thing. That kind of financial loss, especially when you are as young as I believe you are. You're probably 16, 17, I don't know. I doubt you're 18. It probably took you a long time to save up that money. But, like I said, go behind your mom's back, talk to the person, Emma, and see if she'll help you out. If not, just move on. It's really not that important. And I understand that some ass on YouTube saying, hey, it's not that important, get over it, is not exactly what you want to be hearing, but the reality is that's what the reality is. Ooh. Moving on. What can I do to regain my self-esteem and confidence? I had this dreadful experience last week. I'm still shaking. I've tried writing down my feelings and doing exercises, but nothing seems to help. And that's done with a question mark. That's kind of weird. I am a beautiful, successful woman who has never stopped laughing. I just don't like the new me. How can you become stronger and avoid second guessing yourself? Thank you. Moving on. I'm not going to give advice on that. If you're already describing yourself as a beautiful, strong, successful woman, you know what? You're already there. I don't care. You're fine. Whew. Damn. I really wanted to read this one, but they've never heard of what the enter key does. Just a big block of text. Ugh. Okay. Mom won't stop playing music that triggers my PTSD. It's one of those. Her brother, so the poster's uncle, sexually assaulted, and he used to be a singer. She blasts his music throughout the house when she does her chores. I've asked her to turn it off and that it deeply upsets me. But last time I asked, she got mad and gave me attitude the whole day like it was my fault and I was ruining her day. So, here's the thing. This is written in a very specific way, in a very telling way. And there's two more lines. I see one of the lines that they're hurt and angry and they want to die and all that suicidal stuff, and that's terrible. There's so many things out there to live for, and the basic thing is, number one is you need to get into therapy. You need a therapist. You need to get some form of therapy. You need to talk through your stuff, and second of all, it is extremely clear to me from the way that you constructed just that opening 2 sentences, it is 3 sentences, that opening bit, the actual part that I read, and I'm not going to read the rest because I understand what it is, but I can tell just from that opening bit that you have kept your secret. Apart from right here on Reddit, where you are anonymous to the entire world, you have not told a frickin' soul about what happened. And that is your choice. But what you cannot do is when a trigger that is related to your choice comes up, and it is, the fault of your mother, you cannot blame her because she doesn't understand what's happening. She doesn't understand what's happening in your mind, in your head, in your psyche. You can't blame her for that. And I understand why you might not want to tell her, because that is her brother. I'm not going to tell you that you absolutely should tell everybody. It's your choice to make. It's your burden. It's your cross to bear, if you will. But what I will say, and I'll hammer this point over and over, you need to get into therapy. You need to have that I don't want to call it a safe space, but you need to have that safe space that you can go to and completely open up about what happened, so that you can begin working on how to deal with your PTSD. And this is the hot take with a lot of mental disorders. Having a mental disorder is not your fault. But having a mental disorder is your responsibility. What does that mean? Your uncle did something to you, and the end result is you have a post-traumatic stress disorder that makes living at times difficult. That's understandable. But if you think that it's okay for you to just live that way and it's everybody else's job in the entire world to adapt to you, well, now the problem that you have created a new problem for everybody else in your life. Seek out therapy. Seek out a specialist if you want. It's actually really easy to do with the internet. Get into some therapy. Figure out how to live with what happened. Figure out how to accept it within yourself so that you can begin to move on, whatever that looks like. You also didn't mention how old you are. I wish everybody would put in how old they are, because I could give different answers depending on if you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If you're 18, then guess what? It's time to get a job and move out. If you're under 18, that's a bit more difficult, but you could still look for a job. 16, 17, you can look for a job. You can get a job that'll get you out of the house 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week. You could also get into sports. That's another one where they've never heard of Enter Key. Quick one, titled Coming Out. Hey, I came out to my parents, but they think that I'm joking. How do I make them see that I am not? They think that my mind is poison. How do I tell them I'm a gay male? I'm glad that you had to add that qualifier in, that you're a male. So, this advice is going to take a really long time. In fact, the advice was within that last sentence. What do you do? Time. It's going to take time. I don't know if your parents are religious. I don't know if your parents are conservative or, whatever. But it's going to be a shock. And maybe at first they won't fully understand it. But as time goes by, they will. Time. How do you make them see that you're not joking? That's also a very telling word or a phrase. How do you make them see? It's not how do I explain it. So right off the bat, I can tell you're under the age of 15. But again, time. Okay. Moving on. This one might be a good one. Every day, when I wake up, I feel exhausted and do nothing all day. Right off the bat, that's depression. But let's actually go through and read it. I've been having this problem for as long as Corona. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. I've been having this problem for as long as the thing came to my country. I started not going to school. Okay, yeah, this is depression. Like you have you have two paragraphs and then like three half paragraphs. I've already identified within the first two sentences, this is like textbook depression. So anyway, I'll try to stop interrupting myself. I started not going to school, and I feel really tired each time I woke up. I didn't know why. Went to the doctor, and he kind of made a fool out of me. Just improve your sleep quality. See, look, here's the deal. Not every doctor is made the same. You have doctors who specialize with feet. You have doctors who specialize with the heart. You have doctors that specialize in reflexology. You have doctors that specialize in respiratory. You have doctors that specialize in the brain. You have doctors who specialize in philosophy for some reason. So, your doctor was probably just a family doctor whose job it would have been to kind of forward you to another doctor, a specialist of some kind. And it seems like that's not what he did. So, perhaps you need a new family doctor. I don't know. I don't know what you can actually do about that per se, because I'm assuming you're under the age of 18 and you're on your family's insurance. So your doctor is whatever doctor they say it is, and their doctor is probably just whatever one was assigned to them when they got their insurance. So he goes on to say, a year passed, and I've had my ups and downs, but I will still always wake up really tired. But it's weird. When I hang out with my friends, I get a lot of energy from that, and I feel good. But as soon as I get home and sit in my chair, and I want to study or be productive, I feel exhausted, can't focus, and can't concentrate. Yeah. Your home has become your personal prison. And you're not alone. A lot of kids are going through this right now. You're not alone. But this is depression. Right off the bat, I would suggest you start working out. You start going outside, being in the sun. You start going on runs or something. Start being active. You naturally increase your endorphins and your enkephalons. And over time, and again, it's not going to be overnight, but over time, you will slowly begin to feel better in the times when you do sit down in the chair and want to study or be productive or whatever. Here we go. I mostly just watch YouTube videos, do a small amount of work for my studies, and then go to sleep again. I usually go to sleep at... That's interesting, they use military time. I go to sleep at like 11 p.m. and wake up around 7:45 in the morning. I just cannot focus. I am easily distracted. I feel like it is more of a mental thing rather than some bad illness. Yeah, depression. It's a mental thing. It's a mental illness, but it is a mental thing. But I still feel physically tired, even when doing stuff. And that's the problem with, all the lockdowns and whatnot that we've seen all across the world is, you force people into a small space into their homes, tell them they can't leave. A month goes by, 2 months goes by, 3 months goes by, a year goes by, and all the while in those past 12, 13 months, they've began living a very sedentary lifestyle. How much weight have you put on in the last 12 months? That's something that has been happening to a lot of people. You pointed out that when you're out doing things with your friends, being physical, you feel happy. You still feel physically tired, but you're happy. Now, the reason you feel physically tired is just because your body's not used to doing that. If you go a year without ever running, and then you go for a 1 mile run, the next day you're going to feel physically tired. You're not doing anything that day, but you feel physically tired. It makes sense. You're not used to being physical like that. Just keep at it, really. On bad days, my legs just hurt really bad, like I walked 50 miles, even though I just woke up. Even when I try to do something fun, like playing League of Legends. Okay, first of all, that's not fun. Or playing guitar. I notice I can't focus. I can't press my buttons in the right order. Like my coordination is bad or something. There's really nothing more I can add to that. I feel like I've already gone so far into what you should be doing. It feels like whatever I am doing, I feel like I'm doing at like 4 a.m. As if I'm doing schoolwork in the middle of the night with no sleep, or gaming in the middle of the night with no sleep. But it feels like when I just woke up, or when it's in the afternoon. The only time I don't feel tired is when I am with my friends who I am comfortable with. Okay. There's a bit more written, but I'm not going to read it anymore. I think that for the most part we solved it. You are depressed. You don't like being at home. You don't like being locked up. You don't like sitting down. You like standing up. You like being active. You like being with your friends. Go do those things. And if you don't have enough friends to get you out as much as you need to be out, then just go out and run. Seriously. How are we doing on time? We got like 12 minutes left. Topic. I felt like an alien trapped since I was a child. That's going to be a good one. What? I used to scream and cry that my skin wasn't my own, clawing at my face and hitting myself, crying that I wasn't supposed to be here. Uncomfortable even now, every day as an adult, I still cry, I sob because I still feel like I'm not really home in my own body. I'm wondering what direction this is going to take. When they said they feel like an alien, do they literally mean like a being from out of space? Or is this somebody who is male, who on the inside they feel like a female. Because I want this to be interesting, I hope they think that they're an alien. I sometimes feel so disconnected when I look in the mirror. I can't recognize myself at all. It has nothing to do with my gender. No, go away. It has nothing to do with my gender either, because I'm content with my gender. That's interesting. I guess they literally feel like an alien. It's just that I really don't feel right in my existence, like I ended up in the wrong world almost. Aliens. The discomfort can be exhausting some days. What exactly do you mean by the wrong world? Do you literally mean Earth? Do you feel like you should be on planet X1214 AC? I don't know, that probably sounds weird, but I'm curious if anyone has ever felt like this. I talked to a therapist once about it, but they didn't give me any input, and I felt uneasy. Okay. Here's the thing with therapists. Therapists are not allowed to tell you what to think. They are not allowed to tell you what to do. It is their job, and this is like a legal thing for therapists. It is a therapist's job to guide the patient through figuring everything out on their own. They're not going to tell you what to do, but they may guide you so that you can figure out what to do for yourself. They're not going to tell you what to think, but they'll guide you through talking so that you can figure out what to think for yourself. Never assume that, and you went to a therapist once. Wow, once. Therapy does not happen overnight. Sometimes therapy takes years, and that's something that if you want to look at this thing as something just that happened in your past, you need to accept that it's going to take some time. You're not going to be moving on from this overnight. Good luck on figuring out what planet you're from. Oh, I don't think I have enough time for that one. That's okay. Okay. I'm a pathological liar. How do I get better? Well, first of all, how do I know that what you just told me is true? Okay, so this is like one paragraph. We'll get through it in time. I'll just read the entire thing and riff off from there. So I've been going through rough times in my life for a little over 2 years. I'm only 18, but over the past 2, almost 3 years, I've battled with a mental illness, and it's brought me down, and it's brought down my work ethic, performance in school, and relationships that are close to me. I've had many family issues, which led to me to start lying consistently about where I am, what I'm doing, etc. I feel like I respect everyone in my life, especially people I'm close to, but I don't always show it physically. You don't have to show it physically. You just have to show it emotionally. I'm indecisive and I constantly lie. It's gotten to the point where my girlfriend is ready to break up with me. I don't want to lose her or any other relationships. What can I do to break my lying habits? Get into therapy. Also, your girlfriend deserves better than you. And right now, so does everybody in your family. So does everybody who has any kind of relationship with you. They all deserve better. You're 18, you're an adult. The good news is you're still so young that you can fix your problem really early on within your lifespan. Get into therapy and work through your problems. Figure out why you feel the need to lie. Perhaps it comes back to something in your past, something that your mom did, something that your dad said, something that a sibling held over you, or something like that. Maybe you had overprotective parents who always needed to know everything about what was going on in your life. So now it feels like you have a little bit of power with the lies that you're spinning. Get into therapy. If your girlfriend wants to come with you on this journey, that's fine, but to be completely honest, I don't think you should be in a romantic relationship at all right now. Get some therapy. So the music right now is from Howling Fjord. We're just going to kind of let that play out for the last few minutes. And that is pretty much all the advice that I have time for tonight. We have 3 more minutes to go until we hit 1 hour. So let's just kind of let the music play out. Let it be a little relaxing few minutes. And I'll see you guys next time.